Right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's good and everything. Today, I'm doing a video on why I'm pretty convinced England are going to win the World Cup, and I'm going to go for the England squad and show everybody why we're gonna smash the World Cup. Basically, come on, England! Right. So we'll have a look at the squad. Then we're going to put them in a team, and basically, we are the best. You know what I mean? At the moment, uh, like in the Premier League, just set piece FC everywhere. I can see us getting loads of goals from set pieces. We're just so dominant in midfield. You know, probably our weakest part's defence, but we've still got top players like winning titles and European Cups and in defence. So, you know, right. So we'll just get on with it and have a look at have a look at the England squad, and we'll go through it. Right, so in goal, basically, you got Jordan Pickford, Dean Henderson, or James Trafford. Jordan Pickford's the number one. He's so experienced. He's been to that many major tournaments. What I love about Jordan Pickford is he can just send that ball long, 60 yards to people's feet, quick counter attacks and everything. He might not even be the best shot stopper out of all three keepers, but his overall experience, playing out from the back, quick releasing of the ball and everything, and he's not going to get phased by the occasion. Right, on to the defenders. We've got Reece James. To me, he's probably one of the best right backs in world football. To be fair, he is a bit injury prone, so we do need cover for him. And that is in Tino Livramento. He's the backup choice to Reece James. You know, just a solid player, solid season. You can't knock him. Then left backs, you got Nico O'Reilly, which he's been on fire for Man City this season. He's great attacking. He was scored in the cup finals in the cup final for Manchester City against Arsenal. So a big game player as well. Then you got Jed Spence. A lot of people have jumped on the wagon why Jed Spence been included. To me, I just think it's his versatility. He can play left back and he can play right back. When he plays right back, he can get forward up the pitch a lot. When he plays left back, he can't get on the pitch so well, but he sorts of locks out the position. So if you've got like a really dangerous right winger, you can just put him there and he'll lock it out. And he also can play right wing as well. And he's the fastest player in the England squad. He's the fastest player in the Tottenham squad. He's quicker than Mickey van der Ven. It doesn't seem like it is, but he's the fastest player England have got. Then you got Konza, great season for Villa, great leader. You know, great player, European champion. Then you got Mark Gay. You know, gone on to play for Man City. So once you play at Man City, it's playing top level football under pressure every week. John Stones, he's made the squad. He's been a bit injury prone. I do like him. I like how he brings the ball out from the back. You know, top player. It's just whether he can stay fit for the whole tournament. He's going to be pushing for a starting place. If he can get we've got a couple of friendlies. If he can get like a bit of fitness in and start playing settled, it's just great from turning defence into midfield. He'll bring the ball out, somebody will drop in, and he's a quality player on the ball. Then you got Gerald Concert, but I can't say how much he's played this season because I haven't watched him. He's been playing for Bayer Leverkusen. He's done really well there apparently, but I haven't really watched many of his games. Probably watched him play twice this season. He's looked half decent, to be fair, but to be like in the Bundesliga, playing Champions League football, first on the sheet for him. So top defender. Then the controversial choice was Dan Burn, which if we're playing set pieces, you can play him left back, you can play him centre back. So he is cover for Reece James, and if we're chasing a goal with 20 minutes to go, you want to put Dan Burn on at left back so he can charge up the wing, set pieces, he's danger in the box. I think he's nicked Harry Maguire's spot, but I think the only reason Dan Burns got ahead of him because he can play left back, but I would have still picked Maguire over him. But, there's always going to be people pick different choices to, what the manager picks. Then in midfield, Declan Rice won the league for Arsenal, top player. Could be a European champion by the end of tonight as well. Elliot Anderson, I really rate him. I think he's one of the best midfielders in world football. Them two are probably two of the best midfielders in world football. Jordan Henderson, I think he's just took him along for his experience and he must get on well with the players or something. He'll do a job. 20 minutes to go, 30 minutes to go. I don't know how he's going to last in the heat. He must be super fit or something. I suppose he played in Saudi, so he might be used to the heat, but so he might know how to play in that sort of temperatures. But he's got leadership qualities, so yeah, that's the reason. Kobe Mainoo has had a great end to the season. Great end to the season since Michael Carrick's come in. I've always rated Mainoo. He's carried Man United at times. A couple of years ago, at the age of 20, played in major tournament already for England. Top player. Jude Bellingham. There's not much to say about Jude Bellingham. He's just a top player. Played for Real Madrid. He's been well rested this season. He's been injured and everything, but he's had a good run of games. Like towards the end of the season, he's a top player. Morgan Rogers, he's been worked virtually every game for Villa. Scored so many important goals for Villa. There's not much else to say about Morgan Rogers. He's the top player. He'll be fighting Bellingham for the starting place at the World Cup. And then Eze, he's a different player to Rogers and Bellingham. Eze's like, if the team's sitting back, he'll be there, be able to unlock the defences, where Bellingham and Rogers, they're like more on the counter. They'll on breaks of play and they'll attack, whereas they be there to unlock the defence, little tight ball. So Gibbs White was unlucky. He missed out. He's only took 3 number 10s and we got 6 at England. And he could have took Cole Palmer, could have took Foden in that position, and he could have took Gibbs White. The only reason I think he hasn't took Gibbs White is because he's too similar to Bellingham and Rogers in the way they play. And Eze offers something slightly different, like unlocking defences, basically pulling something out of nothing, where Gibbs White is virtually the same as Rogers and Bellingham. Right, and in attack, the 2 right wingers, Saka and Madueke. Can't say nothing about Saka and Madueke. They're the Arsenal right wingers. They're both league champions in the European finals. They're top quality players. Madueke, people saying should have took Palmer instead of Madueke, but at the end of the day, Madueke's a right winger, and Cole Palmer can play on the right, but he's not a right winger that's going to take on his fullback, is he? So Saka and Madueke, good rotation between them two. Then on the left wing, you got Marcus Rashford and Anthony Gordon. Both Rashford, Barcelona left winger last season. Anthony Gordon's going to be left winger for next season. What a move for him! But they could also sign Rashford as well. So basically the 2 Barcelona's left wingers. Anyway, Ivan Toney is a striker. He's been playing in Saudi, so he won't have to acclimatise to the heat. Great penalty taker. I think he's going to be 3rd striker. I'm happy with Ivan Toney. I think he's a better player than Solanke, and I think he's a better player than Calvert-Lewin, to be fair. So I'm really happy with that one. Harry Kane, yeah, best striker in the world. And then we got Ollie Watkins. and I'd say since about the turn of the year, the last few months, he's been on fire. He's probably been on some of the best form. You know, some of the goals he's been scoring has been top notch. He was probably off form, like at the start of the season, and you know, start at the beginning of the year. He's probably a bit off form, but yeah. So that is basically the team, right? So that's the team. Shall we try and fit this team in the lineup? Do you want to see how they go in the lineup then? Right. Let's have a look then. Lineup builder. Right, give me a minute. Share screen. Right. This is the lineup. Right. So you got Pickford in goal, and this is what I love about Pickford. When he gets the ball, he'll boot the ball, like he'll collect the ball from a corner, you know, straight to Saka, straight for Rashford, and they're proper runners. So you know what I mean? Rashford running on a Pickford ball is top notch. And then we've got Reece James, right back. He's going to be starting over Livramento. Great crosser of the ball. You know, there's not much else I'd say about Reece James. You know, he's world class. Then we got Konza. I was like umming and ahhing between Konza and John Stones, and Konza's got it just because John Stones has only played 2-3 games. So, you know, it's going to be a battle between them two. John Stones might have some good friendlies and take that spot, but it is between them two. Gay, he's got that the left-sided centre-back place sewn up to me. Then I wrote Riley, he's going to be starting. Then depending how the game goes, if we're defending the last 20 minutes, he'll bring on like Spence because Spence can sew up the game. If he needs to score another goal, he'll bring on Dan Burn. Then in midfield, we got Anderson and Rice. They're two of the best. That's what's going to win us the World Cup. Anderson and Rice will win us the World Cup. I can't think of a better 6 and 8 than them two in world football. And then you got obviously Manu and Henderson to come in. I don't see Henderson. The thing is, they'll have to play quite a lot of games time because we've only got 4 centre midfielders. So they'll, you know, in that 8, Anderson and Manu will play a lot of game time. Then in the number 10 position, you got Bellingham. So when Bellingham's playing, he'll go like this, overtake Kane. Kane will drop deep like this. Kane will spot the runners of, you know, they'll just rotate places, Kane and Bellingham will. So, but Rodgers is the same as Bellingham. And to be fair, depending who plays best in the group games, they'll both get the same amount of game time in the group games. But whoever plays well in the group games will end up getting the slot for the knockout stages. But it is close between them two. Then Saka on the right. It's between him and Madueke. And I know that Tuchel likes Madueke because he's played so well in the friendlies, Madueke has for England in the qualifiers. So it's not a given Saka starts, but Madueke attacks his fullbacks. But same as them two, Madueke and Saka, they'll have the same amount of game time. Rashford on the left, he'll just charge at players, and then you got he doesn't track back as much, where Gordon will track back more. So depending on the opposition, it could be Rashford or Gordon, but I'm going with Rashford starting. Then Kane starts because he's world class. And the thing is, they could play Watkins in the game. Might have to pull out Bellingham and put Watkins in there. Or Watkins, he'll be getting half hours and that. And when a game's won, or he'll be starting against teams like Panama and stuff like that. So, yeah. So basically, that is my team that's going to win the World Cup. So, tell me what you think. If you think any different, or if I'm talking a lot of rubbish, just say. But I honestly believe it's coming home, and I think the squad Tuchel's picked is bang on. To be fair, I might have brought in Maguire. He could have brought in Lewis Hall. I think the only reason he picked Spence over Lewis Hall, for the reasons I said, Spencer's more versatile. In midfield, I probably would have brought in Adam Wharton because he is a quality player and he offers something a bit different, like than Anderson and Rice. And then, yeah, like Gibbs White was probably a bit unlucky, but I think the only reason he didn't get him was because he's too similar to Rodgers and Bellingham, and Palmer and Foden are the same. They're just unlucky because we're just that stacked in the number 10 position that they didn't get the chance. Anyway, if you like the video, just comment anyway if you disagree with me. But like, subscribe, help my channel going. Come on, England! It's coming home!